Hello and welcome back to the Predator Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about cameras and how that applies to the drone you're using for your events as a photographer. Now, here's the difference in a nutshell. There are DSLRs and there are point and shoots. There are some point and shoots that are super nice. I saw one with a 50 millimeter lens. It was really nice, but that's all it did was 50 millimeters. The lens was not interchangeable, things like that. It's something good to walk around for, say, street photography. And then there are DSLRs, interchangeable lenses, all types of attachments, dual SD cards, things like that. Just fantastic, mouth-watering features. Now, here's how it works, and here's the truth. There is currently the Mavic. The Spark is not an issue. The Spark is a non-issue. It's a selfie drone. It's a fun drone. There is the Mavic, the Phantom 4, and the Inspire 1, and the Inspire 2. That's it. Anything outside of that, please be careful, because they just don't do. Now, what we work with here is the Inspire 2. The Inspire 2 is the first drone that truly qualifies as a DSLR level drone, a flying DSLR camera. Now, there's a few things that stand out with the Inspire 2. Now, say take the Mavic and the Mavic Pro. Great cameras, great device. There are a few things that you can't do, but the price is right. The price is right for a current photographer to, say, purchase this thing and then try and fly it while they're trying to take pictures at the same time. It just doesn't work, really, honestly. With the Phantoms, you get a 1-inch sensor. You get no aperture control. There are ways around that, as you know. And then you go to the Inspires. Now, the Inspire only had a DSLR level camera on it with the Inspire 1 Pro. And I don't know, I guess there was a way to mod the gimbal so you can accept a bigger camera. However, it's like putting giant wheels on a Hyundai. It's just not safe. It has its issues. The payload capacity on an Inspire 1 was considerably lower. Way more than a Phantom, but not enough to carry an X5 camera well. It can carry it, but it's not going to carry it well. And the functionality is not all going to be there either. And not to mention the expense, and it's an outmoded device already. Now, taking into account, say, this guy over here, the Inspire 2, this camera, this drone comes with, well, it didn't come with, I purchased 2 cameras for this particular drone. One is the where are you going there, Cupcake? Come on back. Oh, there you go. One is the X4S, this guy. This is the successor to the X3? Yeah, X3 camera from the Inspire 1. Very, very nice piece. Very, very nice piece. This one, the X4S, and it's stabilized gimbal. Great camera. I wouldn't use this as a primary camera on an event, but it makes a great backup camera, and it also makes for in drone piloting, you have to be willing to risk some equipment to get the shot. And I would be okay with risking this. I think it's between $600 and $800. Okay. The X4S, this does have a 1-inch sensor. Does not have aperture control. because this is the same camera that's on the Phantom 4s. So if you do have a Phantom 4, this is the same thing. So great quality on the Phantom 4s. It has 11.8 million pixels. That's a lot of pixels. It's great quality. It has, you can shoot up to 4K at 60 frames a second. You can drag that down to 30 frames a second if you're shooting something cinematic, or you can take it up to 60 frames a second. It can simultaneously take still pictures with video. So we're not going to miss any of the good shots. Or if something pops up, you say, catch it, click, caught it, done. You can shoot RAW and DNG on this. You cannot shoot ProRes, but you get what you pay for. And I paid for a lot here. This has a rolling shutter, which is pretty darn nice. I've had fantastic results with this. I have zero complaints with this particular camera. It is super light, so I get much better flight times with this. If there's a situation where I need to have more flight time, this is the camera. This is the camera to go with, because this extends my flight time by about 10 minutes. 10 minutes is significant in drone piloting. Now, and we'll talk flight time too as well in another podcast. But that's a huge benefit. Just as a spoiler, I can fly for up to 20 to 25 minutes with this guy. And that's the X4S. And it also has 11.8 stops, which is excellent, excellent, excellent camera. And that's the same camera that's on the Phantom. So if you come across the Phantom, perfect. Now, there are two available cameras, two available gimbals for this drone, the Inspire 2. One gimbal, the X4S, has the camera attached and it's not interchangeable. The other one is the X5S. The X5S is the top of the line drone camera on the prosumer market. This is a heavy, heavy camera. It is fully modular. It has the same adapter plate, which is fantastic, which means just interchangeability. And hats off to DJI for doing such a fantastic job with a product. But back to the camera. Many, many interchangeable parts. This is a balancing ring, another important feature. It doesn't do anything. There's no glass in here or anything like that. It's just the thing. And at first I was, what the heck is this? Why would they put an ND filter with no filter in it? But it turns out this is a balancing ring. It helps to balance the camera itself. I mean the lens itself. So that's what that does. You got your dust ring. Nobody likes dust in photography, that's for sure. Which is great for being a photographer in Arizona. As you can see, where's it at there? You can set, it's very, very similar to, focus there. Very, very similar to just a normal everyday run-of-the-mill DSLR. You can set autofocus or manual focus manually on the body. That comes in very, very handy. And for releasing the lens, because we can also go with, this is a micro four thirds camera. We can also go with different lenses. We can go with, there's a zoom, there's a, oh my God, there's a bunch of them. I can't think of it right now. But fully modular, fantastic piece, very durable, I might add. Just a fantastic beast of a camera, 1-inch sensor, 25.8 million pixels. And we can shoot 4K to 5.2K. Think about that. That means it adds in the ability to crop in and out for kids that might run into the shot, dogs that might run into the shot. You can crop them right out and still keep the subject. Fantastic camera. Aperture control on this guy. Now you don't have aperture control on the X4, but you do have aperture control on this guy. Comes in handy, having that flexibility, and shoots in all formats. You can shoot in, I can actually change it to shoot in .mov, or Apple ProRes, CNG, and well, that's Cinelike and stuff like that, but that's a whole nother podcast. But it's an amazing piece. Now, how does this make sense to you? How does this help you as a photographer? It offers you the flexibility when editing, that anything that needs to get cut in, cut out, enriched, desaturated, saturated, you know the routine. Easily done. Now, like I said before, and I'll say it again, good drone video is not something you can do while being a regular photographer. It's just not going to happen. In most cases, well, in some cases, even being a drone pilot, I will bring in a second guy at no charge to fly the drone while I work the camera. Or if you have something special that you want to do, we can do that. You can work the camera and I can fly the drone. Yup. With this particular drone, the Inspire 2, I can run dual controllers. I can let you manage the camera and I'll just fly where it needs to fly. That way, absolutely just fantastic flexibility. So, again, this is Mike with the Predator Podcast. Give us a call, 623-888-0156, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good evening, and good night.